Hi guys, I'm going to go over some acupuncture points which you can push on. So this is acupressure. So how you want to do this is you want to push on these points for about 5 seconds. I like two nice deep breaths so you don't have to focus on the counting. You can focus on your breath instead, and that can also help to relax your mind. So two deep breaths while you push on these points or massage these points out. The first point I want to do, I'm going to start from head top to bottom, is feng shui, which is wind pool. So this one is at the back of the neck. So I'm going to turn around. You're going to find this mastoid bone, which is the bone right behind your ear, and trace it in, and you'll kind of feel a big divot. How you know you found it is if you move your head back and forth, you'll feel the upper traps contracting. You want to be right outside of that. So just push on this point. This is a great point for a stiff neck, so I put it in you if you ever come in with any sort of neck pain, headaches, migraines, great point for that. But as the name suggests, wind pool, it's a great wind point. So let me talk about wind. Wind, according to Chinese medicine, is one of these pathogenic factors we call. It can enter our body, and that's what can cause a cold or a flu in us. So anytime there's a cold or flu, it's considered a wind invasion. And my job as an acupuncturist is to release the wind, to release that out so that you can recover quicker. This is a great point for releasing wind, gallbladder 20. Next point I want to do is on the chest. This is the first point of the lung channel, zongfu. So you want to find your clavicle where it meets kind of your shoulder here. There's a divot there, but one thumb's breadth down, or if you can feel this rib bone, the first rib, you want to go over that into this first intercostal space. So the first intercostal space is the space between ribs 1 and 2. So right here, kind of like right where the shoulder meets in your pec muscle, it feels really nice. It's probably pretty tender since we all tend to be hunched over. We all need to stretch our chests out a little more. Zongfu, so this means central residence, which sounds really important, doesn't it? So this is a good point for dispersing and descending lung qi, helping you take a deep breath, helping to move that qi in your lungs. If you're coming down with any sort of wind invasion, like I mentioned, it's good. It's a good long point just to kind of move things through. It's good to stop cough and wheezing, move any sort of phlegm that might be building up. Also, it helps to descend lung qi. So it has this like property of just kind of helping you take a full breath, moving qi downward, and descending, stomach qi. So anytime you have any sort of heartburn or nausea, it's also good for kind of bringing that down. So that's lung 1. Another point I want to talk about is large intestine 11. So this is 支子, pool at the crook. So it's at the crook of your elbow. So if you find this kind of crease at the end of your elbow, that's where the point is, in line with this epicondyle. So the epicondyle is this bony point right here. But right here at the end of that crease is large intestine 11. That's the number 1 heat clearing point of the body. So it also releases wind. But the heat clearing point, so anytime you feel feverish or sore throat, that would be great. But you can also push on that to release wind if you are starting to come down with something. Another good point if you're coming down with something is hegu. This is this point right between your thumb and your index finger, right in the middle of this bone. You can measure it out, and then kind of in the middle and in this meaty section, a good way to do it is to clasp your thumb in there and just hold on to that, and you can massage it out. It's really nice. A lot of times when I put a needle here, everyone complains, ouch, that hurts. Well, it's a very powerful point. It benefits the face, and if you have any sort of congestion here, it's helpful. It moves qi in the body. It's good for stress. It's good for headaches. It's good for any pain in the body. It's a really great point just to kind of keep things moving along and the qi moving in your body. Another one in your hand that might become helpful these days is fish border, yu ji. So this is kind of at the border. I'm assuming that this muscle right here kind of looks like a fish. So it's at the border of that muscle, a thenar, which is a big thumb muscle, and this metacarpal bone here. So midway between in the bone, right between this muscle belly and the bone. You want to push there. I like to dig my nail in it. This is another lung point, lung 10, and this is great for sore throat. So you only need to do this if you're having a sore throat. Last point I want to go through is on your leg. So 足三里, leg 3 miles. So this one, I'm going to bring my leg up here. So you're going to find the lower border of your patella. This is stomach 36. So lower border, you're going to put your hand at the lower border. It's 4 finger breaths. So put your hand like this, and then find where it ends. And right where it ends on the outer side of your tibia bone, right there is 足三里, stomach 36. So you could do that on both sides. Stomach 36 is the #1 chi tonifying point in the body. It helps to build chi. It helps to build blood. It's great for immunity. They've used it in HIV patients, cancer patients. So it's a great point for that. It's on the stomach channel. It's great for digestion, any sort of loose stools, nausea, vomiting, low appetite. Good for that. The story behind this goes that why it's called leg 3 miles, 足三里, is back in the day, the Chinese soldiers, when they were super tired and couldn't go any longer, if they stimulated that point, they could keep marching for another 3 miles. So I don't know if that's true or not, but that's a little legend story that goes with that point. So a really good chi tonification point if you're feeling tired or fatigued, if your bowels are a little bit off, if you just want to boost your immunity. We often do Samoxa on that point. So there's some great points for you to start with. Happy pressing, and I hope to see you guys all soon. Bye.